Hello, how are you doing today? It's Chris Weitzel, owner of Chris Seafood, here at 1300 Seagrave, Unit 4 in Woodstock. Today we're inside showing you how to prepare one of my favorites, all-time favorites, Canadian and Caribbean lobster tails. One of the questions that I get all the time about the two is, which one is better, Chris, Canadian or Caribbean? Now, I tend to find that Caribbean lobster tails tend to be a bit tougher and the meat is not quite as sweet. A lot has to do in how they are prepared. You can see that the Caribbean, they do, I find, have more meat compared to the Atlantic lobster. And Caribbean has the dots on the outside where Canadian does not. And Caribbean lobsters are obviously caught in warm water, and I find, have a bit thinner shell, while Atlantic or Maine lobsters are caught in cold water and have a thicker shell and tend to be a bit more brittle. So here, you're gonna grab the most industrial scissors you have. Just cut it right up to the line. The peel and pull part of the shell, I use 2 fingers. You're gonna peel that back. That's where I grab with 2 fingers, hold the shell, and just peel that meat back. Not so it comes out, you want to leave a little bit so it's connected, because what we're going to do is we're going to close it up and then lay the meat on top. Now, don't forget to rinse the tail inside and out, making sure to remove that the poop tract. That's the last thing you want to do, is leave that thing laying there for your guest to be grossed out by. There's no easy way to put it. It's a poop tract. And we're just gonna let these here hang out on ice. Now, the Canadian tails are more apt to shatter, I find, and leave little sharp shards of shell, which make rinsing them all the more important. They have the line too, so just snip right up the back, stopping the tip of the scissors at the line. Get rid of any pieces right away when you see them. Get your fingers in there, peel back. You're gonna hear the crack. They are a little tougher than the Caribbean, I find. And again, don't forget to remove the crap trail. See how easy that is? That was actually easier than the Caribbean. There, you see what I'm talking about? Remember to rinse. Now we're gonna let these hang out on ice. Just grab any type of mixing container. I use, for these tails, extra virgin olive oil. You know, glug, glug, glug. And crushed garlic. This time of the year, all that's available is, and I always use Canadian garlic. We've been growing garlic for the last 15 years. I would be using our own garlic, but due to the time of the year, all that's available at this time in spring, well, early summer, would be green garlic, which is pretty pungent. So just mix that in. You're gonna see it's gonna pick up a lot of garlic. You want to remove, not all of it, but some of it. And here's where I'd love to give a good shout out to Coddle's Catch. They're been our supplier since day one. They're located at 60 Otonabee Drive in Kitchener, and they're just an amazing family to deal with. So here we're on to the Canadian tail. Same thing, remove any excess garlic, leaving a bit on there for show. Now, I remember years ago watching Robert Rainford on Food Network. Now I'm kind of aging myself. I've been watching the Food Network ever since it started, and this was one of the first shows that I just fell in love with. And I remember him cooking around his pool. His fishmonger buddy would personally deliver and explain everything that he had. Never did I think that would be me one day. It's crazy the way life goes, people. Anything is possible. Look at those beautiful tails just chilling out on the ice. So we're gonna start seasoning these bad boys. I use kosher salt because you want to see how much is actually going on to the tail. This is very hard to do with table salt. If you're in a pinch, I guess you could use it, but I highly recommend a nice quality kosher salt. Grab some coarse black pepper, Then we have the secret but not so secret ingredient, and that's Old Bay seasoning. The reason I like this stuff is it adds amazing flavor, it doesn't burn, and it's just an all-around good tasting seasoning. We're gonna give this a light sprinkle. Not too much. And we're gonna grab some curly parsley. Break off the big stems, you don't want them. You want the nice tender, we're gonna do a bit of a chiffonade. You want the nice tender leaves of the parsley. Now we're gonna make it rain, folks. Not too much, but enough to see it. And there we go. That's it. Off to the grill, folks.